Have you ever lost your spark and no one noticed? It's like everyone's leaning on you, looking for answers, but secretly you're running on E. That is what we're talking about today. But that's invisible fatigue. It's just chipping away at your confidence. And that's something that we are going to break down so you don't lose your confidence. So with that being said, let's tap in. Welcome to the Just Believe Show. I'm your host, Herbie Mack. Today we're going to talk about silent burnout, how it can affect your confidence. And that's something that we don't want, not around here. I experienced that, and I'm going to break it down and share a quick story with you. So here we go. So years ago, I finally landed my first paid speaking gig. It's virtual, I'm hyped, and I'm like, I can't wait. Like, I've been grinding my ass off, to say the least, of like doing interviews, networking, going to events, meeting this person, meeting that person, posting, creating all sorts of content. You already know, all gas, no brakes. Your boy's turning up. And that led to this event, and I'm pumped. As I get to the event, I crush it, right? I got the fire emojis going in the chat. Everyone's like, you're doing great. And shortly after that, I logged out and I did my part. I just sat there and I wasn't really smiling, wasn't celebrating or anything like that. As soon as I ended the speech, the invoice came through, and you figure like, this is the big break that I wanted. People see the value in how I share my story and whatnot. But I didn't. I just was sitting there. And I was numb to the whole situation. I couldn't understand why. But I was like, after chatting with one of my friends, he just said, man, it sounds like you kind of burn out there, buddy. Because of the grind that I was doing, the working, and seeing the invoice come through and seeing everything, I was like doubting myself. Like, man, did I really crush it? Right? The event planner hit me up and said, you did a fantastic job and everything was great. But the self-doubt started coming in. I wasn't really taking care of myself. I wasn't resting in the most important thing, creating boundaries. I didn't have to do all these podcasts. I didn't have to go to all these networks events. I didn't have to create all this content to show how valuable I am. But I felt like that. Right? The confidence inside of me was like, you got to do this so people can know, like, you are that guy. Doing all that hard work literally led to burnout. I was not really taking care of myself, wasn't doing my positive affirmations that I do every day. I was just going. Not only losing confidence in my ability of, man, can I rock this crowd? I was losing confidence outside of that, right? The house, the family, that dynamics of, hey, I got to attend this event. You got the kids, or, just not paying attention to those who really built me up. That's my family, and that's myself. And that's something that I took a vow and said, hey, we're not going to do that again. We gonna create these boundaries, because boundaries is something that's so important. You already know you can use your phone to journal, and that's something that can help build you up and do that and reflect. Or get a pen, pad, start writing down. And that is something that I did 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And honestly, it really helped me. And if you're someone that's like, man, I don't really know how to journal, well, guess what? I created the Just Believe journal. You can get it in the description. If you're listening to this on audio, you can get it in the show notes. I have the link there. And just to give you guys a heads up, it's my affiliate link, so you don't have to pay anything extra. I get a little kickback from all the hard work of creating this project that I want you to use. And it's something that you just don't have to just write. It's prompts. It's a guide that help you be the best version of yourself. And boy, do I wish I had it years ago. I'm so thankful to have this conversation with my friend, because once I sat down and started reflecting, and it's like, yeah, this is burnout. Burnout doesn't necessarily have to be you physically passing out. You can be mentally exhausted. And that's just because your body's running on autopilot, and you can be on that hamster wheel, and sometimes you gotta jump off. But if you don't know the signs of when to jump off, or you're cruising in autopilot too long, that's why the checklist is highly important. And this checklist is called the Champion Reset Checklist. And I'm going to give you actual steps, about 7 of them. Let's get into it. Step 1, acknowledge where you are. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're probably burnt out. And that awareness is the first win. I can't lie to you. Step 2, reconnect with your strength. Look at your receipts of the things that you showed up for, that you overcame, that you realized, like, man, I am that champion, because you are. And that is something that can help uplift you. Step 3, set one small, realistic goal that you can achieve today. Doesn't necessarily have to be something crazy or anything like that. It could be simple as, I'm going to walk around my block for 15 minutes just to get some fresh air. Or it can be, I'm writing my journal. Or I'm going to take a shower and sing off key, because that brings me joy. That is something that I need to do to get back to myself. And it could be something so small. It could be rewarding yourself, going out to Chipotle or something like that, to really just break up that cycle for you to be the best version of yourself. And that's the champion that you are. That's going to segue into step 4. Challenge that inner critic in your head. I know it sounds easy, and this is how I helped me boost up my confidence, because as I mentioned in the story, that inner critic was doubting myself. I was dumb. It's just like, man, I don't know if I did it or not. The trick to challenging that inner critic is naming it. I have a certain name for it, so when he starts talking, I'm listening, he's jabbering, I'm not even paying him no mind, because I already know who I am. And that's something that you can do. Just naming that inner critic that you know, like, oh, he or she or they are talking. And that's something that I don't need to listen to. I can acknowledge it, but I don't have to accept it. With that being said, let's get to step 5. Protect your peace. And this is boundaries. As I mentioned in the story, the boundaries I should have set was saying no to some of the podcasts, saying no to the network events, things like that. When you let your boundaries down, it just creates more chaos. And boundaries is not a selfish thing. I don't want you to think that. Boundaries is something that is needed. I have certain boundaries. Hey, I know how many events, network events that I'm going to be doing. I know how many podcasts I'm going to show up on, just so this way I can be the best version of myself. And I want you to do that as well. Step 6, talk to someone you trust. Me just having a simple conversation with my buddy, and him just like, hey, dude, don't know if you know, but that's burnout. That was something that was needed. It was like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. My friend told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. And that was the truth. It kept it real with me. Something that I'm so thankful for. Step 7, move your body or sit still on purpose. Move your body can be something simple as walking around the block, as I mentioned, or going to the gym, exercising, or sitting still. Something that I like to do, journaling. And the other thing is coloring. Just really slowing the world down to get to your speed, getting off that hamster wheel, blocking out all the distraction, and just being present in the moments. That is the 7 steps that I have for you, or the checklist, I should say, that I have for you. That's going to wrap up the Champions Reset Checklist. It's just 7 things, something that you can really digest and look at and just reflect. I use it, I told you, about 2-3 weeks, at least once a month. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's something that is big for me and vital. And that's how I become the best version of myself, to be honest with you. That's how I'm able to stay afloat. I got to hear from you. So you got to comment down below. Or if you listen to this in the audio, you can also comment down as well. I would love to hear what you have to say. And the question that I have is, what is one moment from your past that you prove your strength? Something that you think like, damn, I really did that? You write it down. We can revisit it. That's your anchor. And that's something that can help you be the best version of yourself. And that's the champion that you are. Don't you forget. So if you are listening to this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description down below. This helps not only the channel grow, your boy grow, but honestly, it helps the next person find this who may need this. If you're looking for some new tools to sharpen that tools in your toolbox, check out everything in the description as far as Champion's Corner. And Champion Corner is the community transformation tools that I have for you that you can get. All you gotta do is plug in your email. And it's as far as the Champions Mental Resilient game plan. You already know. I like it. It's something that can help you be the best version of yourself. Also, if you're going through some challenges, I have the Champions Crisis Compass. That is something that it helps navigate you with some resources, tools, and things like that. And also a strip if you know that someone's going through challenges that I think can be beneficial not only to you, but to the next person across from you. It's someone that you may know, love. If you're looking for some tools that you're willing to invest in as far as the Just Believe Journal and also the Mental Health Protection Guide, that's also can be found in Winner's Way. That's in the description as well. Until then, I'll see you next time. Be the champion that you are. We out. Peace.